I never thought it would happen. After over 20 years, I gave up hope. We all gave up hope. But Ash Ketchum mentions his dad in the new Pokemon movie. Pokemon the movie Coco in Japan, Pokemon the movie Secrets of the Jungle outside of Japan. We have this update because it gets pretty crazy. It's coming from an interview before the movie came out saying there was going to be a mention of Ash's dad. Well, now the movie's out, so we get to see what he ended up saying, and it's going to be some pretty crazy stuff, just kind of breaking down the lacking history of Ash's dad as well. So coming from Dogasu's backpack, Satoshi apparently is going to bring up his own dad in the Pocket Monsters movie Coco, according to a recently posted news article. My translation of the relevant portions are below. Now, this is a really interesting interview because it gets into what the movie is about. The boy they find that's hanging out with Zarude, his name is Coco, and he's a mix between a human and Pokemon because he was raised by Pokemon, but he's still human, so it brings up a lot of questions about parenthood or what it means to be human or what a Pokemon is and stuff. The source of Satoshi's ability to take action is his father. What's etched into the heart of a boy who's only 10 years old? In this movie, one part that's sure to leave an impression is when Coco struggles with the questions of both his very existence and the relationship between him and his father. Am I a Pokemon or am I human? When he sees Coco struggling with this, the main character, Ash, reminisces about his own father for the very first time and talks about the effect his old man has had on him. Satoshi's mom has been appearing in TV and movie for a number of times before, of course, but as a fan, hearing Satoshi bring up his dad now, at a time like this, was a huge shock, the director says. The events of this movie take place after Zarude has been raising the baby Coco for 10 years. They meet Satoshi and Pikachu in the jungle where they live, and little by little, seeds of doubt begin to bud within Coco, who up until now had never questioned the idea of himself as a Pokemon. And we show him questioning his own existence and the relationship between him and his father. And he asked, "Dada, am I a human?" Now, this is also teased in even the English trailer of the movie, but it looks like the director wanted to kind of bring some really serious stuff to this movie, and it's so much that they're actually tying it in with Ash's dad, who hasn't had a mention in 23 years. So, like, this is so significant to the plot that we can really just kind of tie in a lot of things, especially that fans have wanted. During all that, having Ash go, "When I see Coco and the others, I'm reminded of my own father," and then having him go on and talk about his own father is something we've never done in Pokemon up until now. But when he sees Coco question the relationship with Zarude, his father, we thought it'd be unnatural for him to not bring up his own dad. Ash has never really talked about his father up until now, but since we have a story with a parent and son theme, we have a perfect excuse to bring it up. And so when Ash sees Zarude and Coco, we had to come up with what kind of memories Satoshi would have about his own father. So that's actually really interesting because it shows a couple of different points. They didn't make the movie so they could finally have an excuse for Ash to talk about his dad, but also they haven't really thought about what to do with Ash's dad. So like, oh, yeah, we have a parent and son theme, which means this could work out really well with Ash. What the hell does his father do? How are we going to tie him into the series after ignoring him for so long? So this isn't like some big road-mapped, planned out thing. It's just kind of off the cuff, but something that fans have been wanting. So we all know Satoshi and how he never gives up, and how he's an energetic boy with a positive outlook on life. We thought by making his father's words be what made him the way he is, his actions would make sense and be a great fit for this theme. So that's kind of a breakdown that we have from the interview. And yeah, it's pretty crazy. The only mention of Ash's father in the anime is in the second episode. This is currently the only episode in which any of Ash's male relatives are mentioned. His mom mentions that it took his father 4 days to reach Viridian City from Pallet Town, and that Ash is the apple of his eye. That's it. Also, that's something I do not remember. I've even rewatched the Pokemon, first season fairly recently within the last couple of years. And it's not one of those things that stands out because it never got any developments. Like, oh yeah, random mention of Ash's dad that actually doesn't really mean anything. But it is there, which is kind of crazy to think about. Maybe some people remember it because it's just ingrained in them as a massive moment, and other people might have forgotten it just like me. She also mentions Ash's grandfather in the Japanese version. So that's all we've had until this point where Ash is going to say something about his dad. Well, the movie is out in Japan, so let's see what he said And news outlets aren't covering it, which is kind of weird because they said, hey, Dogasu's backpack reported that Ash will speak about his father for the first time in the history of the Pokemon anime. And also the director is tying it in with the Pokemon anime. Also, I guess it is kind of true because Ash never talked about his father. It was just a mention from his mom. So we got that, and then this is the only update we have about the movie now that's out. The Pokemon Coco movie has not included a teaser for the Pokemon 2021 movie at the end, probably because of pandemic shenanigans going on. So let's see what Dogasu's backpack has to say about it, and that actually goes to a tweet earlier. So this is actually in the same time, December 23rd, following this up. This is 100% just going to be Ash going, I was doing something and wanted to give up, but then my dad told me not to give up, so I tried again until I succeeded. My dad is really great, the end. And then, it's scary how accurate this was. So even from Dogasu's backpack, who broke the news, and we have like all this interview stuff, there's no outlet talking about verbatim what Ash said, but apparently this is the sentiment. We don't get anything crazy, we don't get like this huge revelation about Ash's father. It looks like, according to the interview, it was kind of just an afterthought, but something that they wanted to meaningfully give to the movie, as well as the fans of the anime that have been wondering about Ash's dad. But yeah, just some generic stuff about, my dad told me to never give up, and that's why I am the way I am today. And then it probably ties into something that prevents Coco from having a mental breakdown, and that's it. Now, I'm thinking about what this could mean for the future, because now that they've opened Pandora's box, they haven't opened, they've cracked it, which is still opening, and then that unleashes terrible things into the world. But I mean, now that they've considered Ash's dad, is this going to open up something for the future? You know, they have the precedent now, and they could do something about it. Or is this just going to be the scrap that they throw us to hold us over for an indefinite amount of time? It's like, hey, we acknowledged Ash's dad, that's it, GG, good luck, have fun, all of that other fun stuff. And I was also looking into other things about Ash's dad. This is on the Pokemon fandom Wikia. So it's not even like Bulbapedia. I couldn't find like exact this information on Bulbapedia. But there's like some weird stuff because during an interview with a storyboard artist in the anime series, the artist stated that Ash's father is a man who is on his own Pokemon journey as a trainer. Delia occasionally murmurs, Ash's dad and grandpa are still on journey somewhere with the aim of becoming Pokemon masters. So that's kind of it about, you know, we have interviews kind of hinting at it. And apparently, in the Spell of Unknown's commentary, the producers announced that more about him would be revealed in Season 5, which turned out to be untrue. So, we were going to get something about Ash's dad, and then that got scrapped, and now the interview is all we have of him just saying, like, yeah, his dad just wandered around being effectively an older version of Ash trying to become Pokemon Master. So, from unofficial sources on top of this movie, that's what we can glean, that he's effectively just older Ash, and Ash has his aspirations because of his dad. That's it. But at least it's official and not some garbage theory, so hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.